Give me a keg of beer.
Hey, my name is Jason and welcome back to Backtrack Cinema, and we are reviewing Teen Wolf, the comedy classic from 1985. So sit back, get comfy as we go through story, character, the laughs, and what made this such a great comedy classic. Stick around. Teen Wolf was released in 1985, directed by Rod Daniel, and starring Michael J. Fox, James Hansen, Susan Ursitti, and Jerry Levine. Hey everyone, welcome back to Backtrack Cinema, where we go back to the past to talk about the movies that you love. Welcome to my first review on the channel, guys, and we are doing Teen Wolf, obviously. Let me know at BT Cinema what you think of Teen Wolf, and we'll have a good discussion in the comments, so make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you don't miss all the upcoming great content, because there's going to be a lot of it. Teen Wolf, this was one I watched a lot as a young child. This is one of those great 80s lighthearted comedies that deals with a lot of those insecurities we have as teenagers trying to fit in, delivers a great message about being yourself at the end of the day. So when high school nerd Scott Howard learns from his father, Harold, that being a werewolf runs in the family, he decides to take advantage of his freakish trait. With his newfound strength and agility, Scott quickly becomes the hero of his school's basketball team. What's really cool about this movie is that they took the popularity of the werewolf genre and did this comedy with it. So you got this werewolf movie with a lighthearted twist to it. And during the 80s, at this time, we already had The Howling, we had American Werewolf of London, Silver Bullet came out in 1985. So the werewolf genre was really taking off. It was in flight. It was a very popular subgenre. So to take this comedy movie and do a werewolf spin on it, it is very cool. I think it's very cool indeed.
Jeez Louise.
The comedy in this film all works for me. The jokes all land. It's fun, it's entertaining, and you get a great physical performance by the incredibly talented Michael J. Fox. It's really subtle and stuff like that. Like, one of the greatest scenes is when he starts to kind of wolf out a bit, and then he's sliding down the hall, and they just mop the floor, so he's sliding all over the place. When he starts changing into that wolf, when he goes home into the bathroom, his dad's knocking on the door and stuff like that. One of my favorite parts, because it's funny how he's delivering the lines, and he can't stop this change, and he's just like, oh dad, not this time, not this time.
No, Dad. No, not this time.
I always found all that really funny, really entertaining. Not only is Michael J. Fox funny in this, he really is good in the performance in this, because when he becomes the wolf, his whole body posture changes. The confidence is there. He stands up more straight. Obviously his muscles are bigger. He's faster. He's got all this newfound strength, but it's just the way he's carrying himself as the wolf. And when he turns into Scott, he carries himself really differently. And then there's Styles. He always makes me laugh. He's entertaining. He's all jokes. He's all about just having a good time and having fun. He's very animated, this character. And, I like the dynamics between the two friends. When I was rewatching this too, I forgot how many iconic moments there were that I just remember as a kid, like him biting down on the beer can, dancing to Surfing USA up on the van, give me a keg of beer moment where his eyes light up in red. These are things I just remember so much from this film. And when I was also watching this, I couldn't believe the similarity to Spider-Man, from Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. Obviously, the Spider-Man story is much, much older than this from the comics, but the whole theme of this thing of, the great power becomes great responsibility. You see that in this movie, because really that's what it's about. When this kid, Scott, this teenager Scott, turns into this wolf, he's got this newfound power. And he's got to learn, the idea is that he's got to learn to control it, or it's going to control him. And his father tells him this great story of how he lost his temper when he was young, and he almost really hurt someone. And then Scott goes through the same thing. And this really what the movie's about. Everyone is loving the wolf. It's more like a novelty. Scott goes around, he's become popular, he gets the girl he always wanted, but they only love the wolf. They only love that facade of him and don't really love the real person, which is Scott. Scott gets into this fight and he almost hurts a kid, and then he wants to live his life just as Scott again, and then at the end, they win the basketball game, and he never turns into the wolf. It's just Scott. It's all about, abandoning those insecurities you have and just being yourself, because when you're yourself, that's when people really see you. It's a great message and a great lighthearted comedy. It has a great 80s soundtrack, and it's got a good montage. There's always a montage in the 80s that goes with this soundtrack. When he first turns into wolf, and they're just going around seeing how popular he's getting, but they do it within a few minutes. The Surfing USA, why not? Who doesn't like the Beach Boys? And he's surfing on the van going through the town and everything. So it's great. It's a great little soundtrack, as most 80s movies are, and really good practical effects for a comedy. This movie has some really good practical effects. So when he wolfs out for the first time, I liked it. I thought, this is cool. When he's growing his nails, the fangs start coming. It's cheesy, you know what I mean? It's cheesy, but it's still done well for the tone they're going after in this movie. And I just love that. And when he's got the long hair, and when he's playing basketball, he's got he's just full of hair and everything like that. They did a good job in getting Michael J. Fox done up as the wolf. Absolutely. So yeah, guys, this is a great lighthearted teenage comedy about being yourself with a great werewolf twist. So I'm going to give Teen Wolf from 1985 a solid B. So if you're in the mood for a good lighthearted comedy, but you also love horror, then put on Teen Wolf, as you get a great message and a great physical performance by Michael J. Fox. Alright guys, thank you for joining me on this review. This is Backtrack Cinema. We want to know what you think of this review, so please let me know in the comments, and we'll have a great discussion in those comments on Teen Wolf, and I will see you on the next video, and I will see you in the movies, man. Take care. Cheers.